first of the last 4, and you guys are in first place, but it's still tight just like it was last year in these standings. So they're pretty big here from here on out.
Yeah, I mean, and every game is big. So we're not so interested, in being in first place. After 4 weeks, it's who's ever in first place at the end of 8. So we just got to keep playing well and stay consistent. We haven't rolled off a big stretch of wins, but at the same time, we've been able to win 3 out of 4, 3 out of 4. And so we just got to stay consistent with that the rest of the way, and we would be, we'll be fine.
Obviously, you want to, everybody's kind of talking about the one game at a time mantra, but obviously winning a series becomes pretty huge at this point, especially when it's another team that's just one game behind you.
Yeah, and I think it's going to stay tight probably the whole way. I don't know that one team. I mean, if one team can get hot, Minnesota did that last year, and they got hot and won, I think, their last 4 series. We're capable of doing it, but I think there's probably a lot of different teams that are capable of doing it. So, you have to probably even play not even just one game at a time, but pitch by pitch and inning by inning, and we try to break the game up into 3 innings, 3 3-inning games, and trying to win the first 3 and middle 3, last 3. So I mean, it's we can expect dogfights is what I'm looking at. Especially with Indiana. I mean, last year that was probably the most exhausting weekend I've ever had coaching, because those were knockdown, drag out, just crazy games. So
what was it about that weekend? Just how tight they were, or how?
Just tight games, but I mean. Even a Matt Bischoff went out, and probably 6 of the hardest balls I've seen hit were off of him in the first 6 hitters. We got a base runner out rounding second base to get an out, but I was like, that to start the game, they just bashed Bischoff.
Start game 1, yeah.
Yeah, and but then he found a way to put up some zeros, and there was just a lot of offense last year, and IU twice, tied the game up in the last inning. Took the lead, won it game 2, and then they tied it, game 3, and we bounced back and I think scored in extra innings. But I mean, it was just a lot of offense. So
does that heighten things this year at all? Because a lot of you guys are back. They probably remember that series.
Oh yeah, and we've been able to beat them 2 out of 3 the last 2 years, so we've won back-to-back series against them. But they're pitching it well. They defend it well. For whatever reason, they haven't clicked offensively as much, but I mean, they're as scary an offense, in the Big Ten. I mean, they're going to probably put 7 or 8 lefties in the lineup, but they're going to break out at some point. So hopefully we can keep them down this week.
And you got an all-righty staff, or at least your starters. So
yeah, we threw Calvin Gunner last weekend, but I mean, whoever we throw in that situation, Calvin kind of was a reliever starting the game, and that's kind of what we would do if we use him.
Well, just how big is this weekend? I mean, there's only 4 Big Ten series left, and obviously you guys want to win this thing, and you're in position now, but every game is pretty huge, I think, for the next month.
Right, yeah, you pretty much hit it. Every series is huge from here on out. We've obviously shown that the Big Ten is going to be real close again, just like last year, which makes every weekend huge. Might probably come down to the last weekend, just pretty much like last year. We know we're tied for first, but at the same time, I think we're 3 or 4 games out of last. So that's just how it's going to be. Every game's going to count big time.
It was the same thing last year, but it was really bunched up. Mm-hmm. You've got like 1 spot separates the first 6 teams or something like that. So how do you guys prepare yourselves mentally for that? Do the coaches try to help you as far as just staying sharp every game?
Yeah, I mean, we just got to take it one game at a time. You can't go into a weekend thinking, all right, we want 3. You want 3, but you just got to take it one game at a time. Don't get ahead of yourself, because every game is just huge. So you just got to focus on the one ahead and take it game by game.
Yeah. How big is the rivalry with Indiana?
It's usually a pretty heated battle. We aren't big fans of IU. They aren't big fans of us. So we want to get them again, like we have the last couple of years.
Some of you guys were probably even recruited by them, or know guys that play for them, or played against guys that are playing for them now. Is there some of that familiarity?
Yeah, I know. There's plenty of guys on our team that know guys on their team, and yeah, I'm sure like you said, there's plenty of guys on our team that chose, or at least talked to them, between them and Purdue. So I don't know. It's always been a heated battle between us, and there's some hate between us. So it's always good to come out on top.
Going back to what I asked you before, is it nice to be in first place going into this part of the season, kind of being able to control your own destiny a little bit, even though you're tied for first? Is it better to be on top than maybe last year where you're looking up even if it's just 1 or 2 games?
I think it's better to be on top. It gives you confidence, and at the same time, and the bottom line, we're in a better shot of winning it in the end since we are on top. So we just want to keep it rolling, and maybe get a sweep. We've been so close the last couple weekends to sweeping, and we get one of those, it's going to be huge. So we want to get one before the year's over.
Yeah. I was going to talk a little bit about how the improvements Talbott's made this year and what he's meant to the team. And he's, last year you were playing left field, I think, a lot, right?
Yeah.
You moved over to center, and he's kind of stepped in and taken that spot. How important was it that someone stepped up and became like an everyday player at that?
Yeah, it was definitely huge that Talbot stepped up and been that everyday player, especially our outfield was pretty much made up of all seniors last year, fifth-year seniors, and then me and Talbot. So we had some shoes to fill, and he's done a great job. He's really his bunting game has obviously come around huge for us. He's got such great speed that when he learned how to do that, he's gotten himself so many extra base hits. Well, not extra bases, but more base hits from his bunt by learning that part of his game. He's dangerous, and he can swing it a little bit too. So he's done a great job, and he's played a solid left field for us too. So he's done a great job for us. It is huge.
21 for 21 so far in stolen bases in your career, having been caught 16 and 16 this year. What's kind of the secret to that? How have you been able to be so successful there?
I think Schreiber's good at picking spots, telling me when to go. That's a big thing. I don't know much besides that. Try not to let the perfect thing, affect me too much, because then you try and be too fine with it. Just try and play the game,
Spillner said that you're definitely the fastest guy on the team, but yet they bat you down in the lineup. Do you try to bring some of those those leadoff skills to the bottom part of the lineup?
Yeah, definitely. Try and get on base, do all the little stuff, and get on so that when the top of the lineup gets on, I can get in.
He mentioned the bunting thing as being something you really developed this year, and that's added. Is that something you worked on a lot in the off season?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I worked on that a lot, especially this fall. And I think I've come a long way, especially since last year, because I wasn't a very good bunter last year.
Yeah.
So I've gotten a lot better at that.
Was that something that the coaches suggested to you, just to more utilize the speed that you had? Or?
Yeah, they always said that I needed to be a great bunter because of my speed, and it's good that I can use it like that.
How nice has it been for you? And you were on the team last year, and you were kind of a role player last year. Did you assume that you were going to be able to step up and take a bigger spot, or was it something you had to fight for?
I think it was something I had to fight for. I think I played well this fall, kind of proved myself, and it's definitely nice to step up into a starting role and be able to contribute like that.
You've got a veteran guy out there in the outfield next to you with Spillner. How does that help you just defensively kind of get the lay of the land out there?
We're always talking and stuff, so it's good to have. He's kind of the captain of the outfield in the center field, so it's good to have him out there. He knows what he's doing, and he's kind of like a second coach out there.
Talk about this weekend, and it's the first of the last 4 Big Ten series. How big is this, especially considering the way the standings are right now?
It's huge. Aside from the rivalry between us and IU, I think we're both tied for first place, and it's definitely going to be a big weekend. We're looking to separate ourselves.
Now, some of these other guys are from Indiana, so they were recruited by both schools, and they probably played with guys that are on Indiana and stuff like that. You don't necessarily have those ties, but still the rivalry is big.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
For you even coming out of New Jersey?
Being here for 2 years, you can see it in every sport, football, basketball, everything. It's definitely a huge rivalry, and I feel a part of it even though I don't have those ties.
Yeah. You guys glad to be in first place right now and kind of control your own destiny here over these last 4 weeks?
Definitely.
As long as you keep winning.
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't really matter that much right now. What matters is at the end of the season, but it's a good position to be in, and hopefully we can keep winning some games and separate ourselves.